Sundance, the 18th in a series of songs and explanation by Dave Moorman. From what Dave had heard from his fellow pastors, there were two places he did not want to go, Holly, Colorado, and Sundance, Wyoming. God has a sense of humor. Sundance is situated between the Black Hills and Devil's Tower, nestled between Sundance Mountain and Warren Peak. East, along Interstate 90 about 30 miles, is Spearfish, South Dakota. To the west 60 miles is Gillette, Wyoming. Dave hit on the acronym of SUM Church, that's some church, which had a small but vital congregation. The reason he was there was that the previous pastor had suffered for replacing a beloved saint, and took the problems to heart. The population is led by ranchers, and the people are extremely conservative. This was balanced by the scenery, Spearfish Canyon, Rapid City, South Dakota, Mount Rushmore, and the annual biker rally that spilled its 100,000 people from Sturgis, South Dakota, all over the Black Hills. Sherry and Dave enjoyed the Historical Society, being where the Sundance Kid got his name, and an active community library. Dave was the first media-savvy pastor, using the internet and videos to make the church's presence noticed. Sermons were videotaped and Dave edited and put them up on YouTube. The local radio station sold the church 2.5 minutes of airtime, 5 mornings a week for a very reasonable price. So Dave took bits from the sermons and other material to create a daily radio show. One of the things that excited him about the church when they first arrived, was that the tables in their fellowship hall were all round. This was a congregation that thrived on food and friendship. Grade school kids came to the church after school on Mondays for lessons, music, and snacks. Vacation Bible School in the summer was a major event, along with a huge children's Christmas pageant. Sundance was where Dave's music began to take off. He spent time every day playing newly created pieces on the piano. He wondered if anyone had made a real music processor, and checked the internet. He found MuseScore, a remarkable way to put music on the virtual notation paper, then play it back with a whole collection of instruments. It was, at last, an orchestra at his fingertips. Dave offered some kids jazz lessons, by which he meant the blues scale he had learned in high school himself. Flute player Becca Delaney took him up on it, and they had sessions every Tuesday afternoon. He had written 2 songs on the piano that seemed to fit together. So he wrote it out on MuseScore and recorded it with Becca, using a smartphone as an audio studio. Which is what is playing now. The winter of 2010-11 was fierce, with snow on the ground from mid-November through the middle of May. Beginning the first week in January, and continuing for 20 weeks, the area had significant snowfall every weekend. During that time, the church hosted 16 funerals, and Dave officiated 12 of them. His theory for snow removal is April comes she will. But in Sundance, April, she didn't come. The politics of the church entered a period of discontent, and they asked the district superintendent to meet with them in November. During that meeting, several members admitted that they were still hurting over the loss of their beloved pastor and their problems with Dave's immediate predecessor. Finally, it was spoken out loud. And now the grief could be addressed. Dave's work was finished there. The following May, Dave was offered an appointment to Cheyenne Wells in Kit Carson, Colorado. He was 62 years old, and 4 more years would nicely round out his ministry career before retirement. Dave and Sherry said goodbye to Sundance, and traveled the 9 hours back to the eastern Colorado prairie, twice, as it turned out. Thanks for listening. Be sure to click like and subscribe to hear more of Dave's life in music.